Okay, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm on the air live. If you guys are joining me, I'm on the air live right now. Matt Camper, if you guys are on live, I'm on the air. Um, I've got some very, very good news. Very good news to announce to all of you. You all are going to be very surprised. But before I talk about the good news, let me just mention about the stuff that happened today. If you guys saw my YouTube video from earlier, the trains were a mess. So anyway, let me talk about the good news first, and then I guess I'll go on to the bad news. The good news is I want to thank Philip Eng. I owe Philip Eng gratitude of thanks because the Long Island Railroad actually did something for the community. And the only problem is they didn't tell anyone about it, but it's my fault as well because I didn't even notice it in the schedule until today. And the good news is on the Hempstead branch, again, I want to repeat, on the Hempstead branch, there is now an added train that goes to Penn Station. It's a direct train. And you won't believe this, it's in the evening. That's right, everyone, in the evening. You may recall last year at the Garden City meeting, I was complaining about this. So there's still a train. Well, there's a train at 4:23 p.m. From Queens Village to Atlantic Terminal, and then the next train comes like around 5:13 to Atlantic Terminal. So now there used to be, well, after the 5:13 train, there used to be a huge gap, and the next train to Atlantic Terminal, Brooklyn, was at 6:40 p.m. or 6:42 p.m. The good news is the Long Island Railroad has added an additional train, and actually, it's an additional train to Queens Village and Hollis. But the train used to originate out of Hempstead, and it used to go to Penn Station, so that train was always there. But now it stops at Queens Village and Hollis. So the train, I'll tell you what time the train leaves right now. Let me scroll down. So I was very excited about this today, and so the train from 5:13, there used to be a train which there still is, and now the new train comes at Queens Village at 6 o'clock, and it arrives at Hollis at 6:02 p.m. and it's a direct train to Penn Station. So that's the 5:41 train, the 5:41 p.m. out of Hempstead, and it goes right to Penn Station and it gets in at 6:33 p.m. Yeah, it's the 5:41, Matt. It's the 5:41 from Hempstead, and they've already added the service. It took effect, I think, last week, March 4th, when they changed the schedule. Now, here's what the Long Island Railroad did that's kind of screwed up. They didn't tell anyone about the new train. I actually discovered it today. I was in Queens Village waiting for the Q1 bus, and next thing I know, I see two people running up the steps. So I told them, I said, the next train isn't until 6:42 p.m. And they said there's a 6 o'clock train. And true enough, I see a train. I looked to the sign, it said Penn Station. I was like, wait a minute, all the trains go to Atlantic Terminal in the evening. So I looked at the schedule, and true enough, my phone says 6 o'clock. So I looked at the printed schedule, and then I discovered they added a 6 o'clock train. So I am so excited about this. I can't even tell you guys how excited I am that they added a 6 p.m. train. And I think that's because of the growing ridership with Atlantic Ticket. Um, Ridership has been growing on the railroad, as I told you guys last week. Matt, I sent you a text message about that with the numbers, and true enough, the railroad has added additional stops at Queens Village and Hollis. Now, that train that pulls out of Hempstead at 5:41 p.m. That train used to skip Queens Village and Hollis. It never stopped there. I think after Belrose, it went right to Jamaica. So I'm very, very happy that Philip Eng is listening. He's taking our advice, and that was very easy for the railroad. I'm sure that wasn't difficult for them to do. Now, what I'm hoping they're gonna do is add more peak trains in the morning. On Saturday morning right now, the schedule, we need adjustments made because if you look at the Hempstead schedule for Saturday on weekends, let's say if you want to go up to the Maple Leaf train that leaves Penn Station at 7:15. Unfortunately, if you're leaving Queens Village, let me see. Let me just look at the schedule. Sorry guys, I have to do this while I'm online and while I'm here cuz I don't have the software like Mac does. Um but if you look at the schedule where it says, hold on a second here, bear with me. So as you can see, I'm looking at the Hempstead schedule on weekends and holidays. So there's a train that oh wait a minute, I had it here. Give me a second. This is why I can't wait to get the new camera. So if you look at the schedule where it says weekdays, wait a minute, why isn't this going down for? Okay, so to New York, Brooklyn, and Jamaica. Yeah, this is the schedule. Okay, so there's a train that pulls out of Hempstead on Saturday morning at 4:30 a.m., right? It pulls out Saturday morning at 4:30 to Penn Station. I'm sorry, to Atlantic Terminal, Brooklyn. Now the next train going to Atlantic Terminal is 6:13 a.m. There's a huge gap in service, and it gets into Penn Station at 7:05. The connecting Long Beach train. So the way they have the train schedule, I told Philip Eng, we need a train at like between 5 and 6. We need a train. So I'm hoping Philip Eng is going to make some adjustments, even in the morning. Believe it or not, weekday rush hour. They need to make an adjustment, and I'm hoping Philip Eng is going to do the right thing by us. Um, there's a big gap in service, a peak train gap between. There's a train that comes into Queens Village at 7:42. That's a direct train to Penn Station on weekday mornings. Then you have the 7:58 train that goes straight to Atlantic Terminal, I believe. And after that 7:58 train from Queens Village on weekday mornings, the next train is at 8:40 in the morning. So if you miss that 7:58 train, you're now stranded almost 42 minutes for the 8:40 train that goes to Atlantic Terminal, Brooklyn. So they have a flyer that pulls out of Hempstead at 8:02 a.m. I think that's the second flyer they have on the Hempstead branch. So what the railroad needs to do, guys, is that 8:02 train from Hempstead that goes directly into Penn Station. They need to have that train make a stop at Queens Village, at least at Queens Village, if not Hollis, Queens Village at least, so that we have service. But again, I think they should also add a stop at Hollis because, as you know, the ridership is building. So they need to have the two additional trains added. But I'm very, very happy that Philip Eng gave us that 6 o'clock train, and that's a direct train to Penn Station. So I was really impressed with that. I mean, I think that's going to add more riders. Any more service that we can get is always a good thing. So again, I'm hopeful in the next schedule change in June that we're going to get half-hour service. Right now, we only have hourly service on the Hempstead branch, and it makes it very, very hard. So now I want to talk to you guys about the incident that happened today. On the well, I actually witnessed an incident on the F train. A homeless man had urinated in the conductor's cabin, and again, it's disgusting. They had to come and mop the train up, mop the floor, and get the guy off the train. And then there was an incident. There was a shooting at 75th Avenue. I understand someone got stabbed on the E train. So there were two incidents. Did you hear the good news? Yeah, Andy Quinto. Yeah, we got a new train service added at Hempstead. They actually added a train from Queens Village, going to Penn Station directly at 6 p.m. in the evening. It's a westbound train. So I'm very, very excited about that. And you know what? I don't think anyone knows You know what? I'm not surprised. The E train is a mess. You know what? I'm not surprised. It's a mess. I mean, what I saw today at 179th Street was the police came. They didn't want to be bothered dealing with the man in the wheelchair. The cops actually walked away and they told him to get in the elevator. This was on the F train, what I witnessed. And, if you see the video on Twitter, you'll see they actually escorted the man to the elevator, but they didn't want to touch him because obviously he was covered in urine or whatever. But the whole situation is appalling. And, again, you have to blame our mayor for that. Um, but again, it's been a bad day for the Queens Boulevard line today. I'm sure Matt Campbell will agree with me. Today's been a mess. And then not only did they have those delays with the shooting and the stabbing, and then what I had with the man urinating on the train, but around I think around 6:25, they had an incident where they had a stalled train at Continental. So everything was shut down. The whole line was shut down. It took me about an hour and 25 minutes just on the subway. Yeah, it is worse than Nice Bus today. Yeah, unfortunately. So there's some more good news that I'm gonna have in another video regarding Nice Bus. I'll just mention it now since I already said it. My elected officials, I spoke with them, and even though we disagree with each other on many issues, there's one sticking issue that we do agree on, all of us, and that is we don't want Nice Bus coming over the city line. You're going to hear about this in the coming days. The community board is trying to get something done to stop Nice Bus from coming into Queens. I'm sorry, what was that? Yeah, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's a lot of things going on, and I'm trying to focus on, some of the good, positive things. But people are not happy. And again, it's just too many incidents going on. But I'm trying to get the elected officials to focus on one thing. The reason why we're trying to ban Nice Bus from coming into Queens is because I told my elected officials that would mean more MTA bus service. And technically, there's something you all should know. Matt, if you're listening, are you on, Matt? I don't see you. But Nice Bus has been using 212 Place instead of Francis Lewis Boulevard to get to Hillside. And what happened was a kid almost got hit by one of their buses on 212 Place. Um, so the parents are concerned. They don't want Nice Bus coming down 212 Place, going towards Hillside and making the left turn by the Clearview Expressway. So this is what's going on with Nice Bus. And matter of fact, I have to let Pine Power know about this because I'm sure he would be upset too. So again, Nice Bus is no longer safe. Yeah, again, that's what you get when there's no training. The bus drivers are not being trained. They're not professional. So again, what do you expect? There's no professional training. My understanding is they only get training in a parking lot. So again, that's what you get with Nice Bus. They're not trained. They're not professional. Um, it's a big issue, and you need professional bus service, professionally trained drivers. But Nice Bus hires anyone, so that's the issue with that. Um, but again, there's a lot of issues going on in the community, and for the Hollis Station reconstruction project, unfortunately, the elected officials right now are arguing and debating with each other. They've been very rude to me. Um, Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. But again, it's just been a frustrating week. And because the Community Board 12, and actually, Andy, you live in Community Board 12, Andy. And do you know that you're not allowed to go to your community board meeting? Um, Visitors are not allowed. They don't let the public speak at Community Board 12 in their committee meetings and in their board meetings. And to me, that's ridiculous because according to what the district manager told me, yeah, I know you're from Jamaica. What the district manager told me uh, was that she doesn't want the community board meeting to become like a lemonade stand. Those were her exact words to me, that she did not want people coming from the community to testify. They don't want to deal with people. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. On Sunday. Good luck to you. Um, but yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation. And again, I've been dealing with this, and what I've uncovered this week is just a mess. I mean, it's the elected officials don't care. I had a big argument with my city councilman, at his office. I mean, it was, we were talking, but again, I told him he should file a lawsuit against the MTE because the level of service that people are getting in Queens, again, I see someone else join me. I don't know who it is. So if you want to send me a message on the chat, um, oh hey, what's up? How you been? Oh, okay, good to see you, DC Backup. Yeah, so this is the stuff that's going on with the MT. It's just been a crazy week. We're dealing with the elected officials, and what I'm uncovering in the fifth congressional district is the congressman. He doesn't care. The congressman doesn't care. So for the people that are joining me now, DC Backup, just wanted to let you know that the Long Island Railroad added additional service. On the railroad on the Hempstead branch. So again, yeah, I know it is. I know it's dysfunctional, but there's nothing. The subways have always been. No, what we need to do is run for office. Okay, that's what we need to do because the elected officials don't care. They just don't care. I'm shocked that we even got service at 6 o'clock on the railroad. The new service that we got, that came as a complete shock to me, and I actually think Philip Eng should put notices letting people know because no one knows about the new train. I didn't even know about it till I saw the train today, and I thought it was just stopping there because of an emergency. And then when I looked at the schedule, I said, wow, we got new service. But I was told by the railroad that we are getting additional service on the Hempstead branch, and what we need is service going to Mineola and Hicksville, stopping at Queens Village. That would be great if we had the additional service. Um, so again, this is the good news is we have a new 6 o'clock train added at Queens Village, and that's a westbound train that goes to Penn Station. Yes, you're absolutely right, Andy. That train can be beneficial for people going to the city and to the concert. And I think that's probably why the railroad added that train because they had capacity. That train that originates out of Hempstead at 5:41 p.m. That train always ran, but it never stopped at Queens Village and Hollis. It just bypassed those two stations. Yeah, but you also have to understand people work, people do classes, people do work in the evening. Some people work the night shift. So you need train service. And actually, I'm not trying to be ungrateful, but Queens Village and Hollis needs more service. We should have service every 30 minutes. I mean, to me, it's pathetic that we have hourly service. And there was a big gap between trains. If you missed the 5:13 train, which actually comes at 5:17, the next train isn't until about 6:42. So it's a big gap in service, especially on Fridays. If you're trying to get to Penn Station. But what I like about this additional train is that it goes directly to Penn Station. Because if you take the 5:13 train from Queens Village to Atlantic Terminal, yeah, unfortunately, Andy, I don't think Freedom Ticket's going to be approved. We're having a lot of problems with the elected officials. There's a lot of nastiness going on, and I discovered all this week. First of all, the elected officials are not even happy with me about the Hollis station. Many of them gave me nasty attitudes this week. Um, and again, this is the problem. The community doesn't care. And they're doing this to their own people. I mean, I'm a person of color. So again, my elected officials are people of color. Yeah, 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 yep. This is the stuff that this is the craziness that's going on, and I don't know what to tell you. All I can do, along with other people, is advocate for the service that people need, and I'm with Passengers United, I try to get everyone involved and try to help people. But unfortunately, yeah, Wall Street's corrupt. Yeah, we all know that. So is my elected officials. I think they got some of that money from Wall Street. But again, I can't control what goes on, with the elected officials. All we can do is, run for office, vote these idiots out of office. And, that's it. I mean, we can't get involved in, the stuff that's going on. And it's it's unfortunate, but the good news is at least Philip Eng. Today I want to thank Philip Eng, and Philip Eng is really making some changes. I have to say I was impressed by that. But I mean that was probably an easy fix for the railroad. Lisa Pika, the way she created the schedule, she probably didn't want the train stopping at Queens Village and Hollis. But again, ridership is picking up, and I think evening ridership is picking up because the 5:13 train has the platform has been packed. So something tells me that when I complained last year, they took note of it. But again, we need more morning service. We definitely need the 8:02 train from Hampstead that goes to Penn Station. We need that train to stop at Queens Village and Hollis because there's a 42-minute gap in the morning for the railroad. And to me, that 42-minute gap is ridiculous at peak times. And then the last peak train that we have, according to this, yeah, the 9:05 out of Queens Village, the 9:24, both the peak trains. Both the peak trains. And I don't know why the 9:24 is a peak train. They should make that an off peak train. So, yeah, actually, we also have a gap at 5 o'clock in the morning. We could use an additional train between 5 and 6. Yeah, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, there is a big gap. So the first peak train at Queens Village is 6:18, and the one before that at 5:21 is an off peak. So you know what? We do need more peak service at the beginning of the morning because bus service is very bad between 4 a.m. and 5. So I think they need to adjust that schedule. They need to have the train that stops at Floral Park. There's a special train. I think it's a train from Oyster Bay, if I'm not mistaken. It stops at Floral Park at 4:12 a.m. and it arrives in Jamaica at 4:23, and then it goes to Penn Station at 4:43. So if that train stopped at Queens Village, actually that's the fix right there. So all Philip Eng has to do is get the train to stop at Queens Village in Hollis. So I have a feeling that the railroad is going to adjust the schedule. I think in the summer, either in the summer or the fall, they're going to make a schedule adjustment for Queens Village. Okay, that's a very good question, DC Backup. And I was told by the railroad. This is what I was told by the railroad. When I complained about the schedules, they told me, oh no, it cannot, because the train goes in the express track, it doesn't stop at Queens Village. That's the same thing they told me last year when I asked them about the additional evening service. And I guess Philip Eng, who cares about the people, said that he wanted the service added, and that was it. It was added. See, Elisa Pico. No, it doesn't. Andy, no, the East Williston train doesn't stop at Hollis and Queens Village. I don't know where you got that information from. Because I don't. Okay, can y'all see me? Okay, guys, I'm sorry. There's a technical issue going on. Andy, if you can still hear me on the air, let me know. Just send me a message. Because I think there's a technical issue. Okay, Andy, can you still hear me on the air? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's NYU. Sorry about that. Okay, I guess I'm still on the air because there's three people now. So again, breaking news: Philip Eng has done something wonderful for the Long Island Railroad and for Hempstead and Queens Village. They added a new train, a westbound train that leaves Queens Village and Hollis It's the where is it? It's the 541 train out of Hempstead that goes directly to Penn Station. It's a special direct train, and I think it's the only evening train that goes to Penn Station. And it goes to Queens Village at, let's see, 6:40. No, I'm sorry guys, 6 o'clock, and Hollis at 6:02. So that's very good news. Very good news. And again, I'm very grateful to Philip Eng, the president of the railroad, for giving us the extra service. Just really impressed with him. So if you guys have any comments about this, I can answer some questions, or yeah, go ahead and ask questions, guys. Yes, extra. It's already in the Andy. The schedule has already taken effect. It started on March 4th. No one knew about it. I didn't even know about it. And you know what's messed up? I looked at the schedule and I didn't even. I guess it didn't catch my eye because I wouldn't expect extra service in the evening. I would expect extra service in the morning. But Philip Eng, being the good man he is, he gave us an extra train in the evening directly to Penn Station. So the good news is it is the 5:41 p.m. train out of Hempstead, and it goes directly to Penn Station. Not Atlantic Terminal, but Penn Station, and it pulls out of Queens Village at 6 o'clock. And then there's another train, 6 o'clock at Queens Village, and then 6:02 at Hollis. So it's on the schedule. Yes, to Manhattan, directly to Penn Station. This is good old Phil Bang. I gotta buy that man a cup of coffee and donuts because you know what? Elisa Pika would never have done this. Okay, Elisa Pika doesn't give a damn about the railroad. She doesn't. And so again, that's the good news. We got the extra service. I was shocked when I saw the train today, and I first when I saw the train, I saw people running. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Elisa Pica's like Laura Corrin. You know what? All these elected officials, all these people, except Philip Eng. Philip Eng is good, but the rest of them are a bunch of idiots. They don't care about us. Okay, and now I heard they're trying to get rid of Atlantic Ticket. They don't even want the discount program. No, he would never have done that. In fact, I was at a meeting when Novokoski was there, and they told me they actually looked at me in my face and said, we cannot add service, because they told me the train goes express." So I had actually brought this up at a meeting last year in Garden City, that because the schedule that we used to have was there was a westbound train. I believe it's the 4:53 p.m. out of Hempstead. So I'm just looking at my laptop screen, guys. So there's a train that pulls out of Hempstead at 4:53 p.m. and it arrives at Queens Village at 5:13 p.m. Now, if you miss the 5:13 p.m. train, let's say you missed that train, the next one was at 6:42. So there was a huge gap in service, and that train also went to Atlantic Terminal. Both of them did, the 5:13 and the 6:40. And that I can tell you, the 5:13 train is always late. It comes into Queens Village at 5:17. Yeah, hey Andy. So again, this is the good news, and I'm shocked Matt Camper didn't get this. But you know what? I didn't get it either because the railroad didn't announce it. So you would think, if you're adding service, I would think Philip Eng should put it on the schedule, saying new service, at 6 o'clock, so that people know there's a new train. Because the platform at Queens Village was empty. Not a lot of people. I don't think people know about this new train. So I'm gonna definitely spread the word around. I might even put up some posters to let people know. No, it's not a peak train. It's an off-peak train. No, no, guys, let me clarify. The new train is an off-peak train. According to the printed schedule, it doesn't say peak. So it's an off-peak westbound train. Oh, I see what you're talking about, Andy. You're talking about, yeah, it probably goes to Penn Station as an off peak, and then coming back, it's a peak train. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, yeah. And I actually think that could be. Let me look at the schedule here. Matt, if you're here, see, Matt's really good with this stuff. Let me see. It could be the 7:33 train out of Penn Station. I think that could be it. So I'm very, very happy that the railroad gave us the new service. But again, they didn't tell anyone, and it's great for people in Hollis. Okay. No, no one announced it. I accidentally bumped into the train today, and here's the messed up part. If I had known there was a 6 o'clock train, I would have taken it to Jamaica. I had to take the Q1 to 179th Street, then get caught up in this mess with the Hollis man, and yes, Hollis Station is neglected, but please watch the video that MT Prodigy did on Saturday. It's called Hollis Community Voices. It was a very good video. So I'm sure Matt Camper is going to be thrilled about the announcement of the added service. Uh, no, I am sorry. I'm not going to take that train. No, because I leave earlier some days. Okay, good, good. Andy, you're doing the summit at Hollis, right? Oh, DC backup. Thank you, thank you. That was nice. Yeah, well, okay, guys, let me fill you in on what's going on with the elected officials. Andy, let me fill you in on what's going on with the elected officials. They don't care. And they rubbed it in my face. I had a big meeting with City Councilman Danique Miller. Now, you're always talking about nice bus. And here's the bad news with nice bus. Well, actually, here's some good news. Um, One thing me and my elected officials agree on is that Nice Bus should not be allowed to enter Queens. We're working to get the DOT franchise contract. We're going to look it over because Nice Bus pays a fee to DOT to operate in New York City. And that fee, that permit that they have, yes, I agree with you, DC Backup. The contract specifies what route they have to take. So Nice Bus has been taking 212 Place instead of Francis Lewis Boulevard to get to Hillside. And I understand that a kid almost got run over by a Nice Bus. I don't know what happened, I was not there, but there's some accusations being made that they're running stop signs on 212 Place. I don't know what's going on. First of all, why were they on 212 Place? And I was told they were doing construction on Francis Lewis Boulevard. But again, I don't know. There's a school there. Now, you see, people have a tendency on 212 Place to speed because everyone's trying to get to the Clearview Expressway. You know, when you're coming from Hempstead, instead of making the instead of making that left turn to go straight onto Hempstead down to Francis Lewis, I don't know if there's a crossing guard. I don't know the situation. Again, I don't know what's going on. But I was on a nice bus last week and I saw it going down to 12th Place. And I was wondering, I said, wait a minute. So then I come to find out that residents were complaining because one of the Arctics went down to 12th Place. And again, there's private cars, those are residential streets, and a lot of nice buses tend to speed. So we discussed that. That's a very good point. We did discuss that. The NYPD is going to begin stopping nice bus. That's going to be brought up at the Community Board 13 meeting. So that's some good news on that. But again, I think my elected officials might be getting bribes from Nice Bus. Because I asked them, I said, why did it take so long to realize there's a problem with Nice Bus? So I won't be surprised if Nice Bus is making campaign contributions to the elected officials in Queens. Someone is getting money because I told my elected officials, I said, Nice Bus has killed 3 people. 3 people died on Nice Bus. And I think there was a crash at Francis Lewis Boulevard where the Nice Bus ran into a house. Then 2 people were killed on 165th Street in Jamaica. There was an incident there. Then what was the other incident? Oh yeah, a lady got run over at 165th and Merrick. She was trying to cross the street and the bus ran her over. Nice bus is not safe. And again, they should not be coming into Queens. They've even had accidents in Nassau County. Yeah, nice bus is dangerous. So again, we're going to be working on these are the things that Passengers United's working on. One is to get rid of nice bus to stop them from coming into Queens. The second thing I'm trying to work on, she doesn't care. Laura, let me tell you something. Pine Power always mentions this to me. She doesn't care. If she cared, she would have done something. That's a very good question. Advanced player 229. Does I don't know. I know they have to be qualified with the driver's license, but in terms of working for Nice Bus, if that's what your specific question was, I'm not sure of that. But I can attest. I know that Nice Bus drivers do not receive more than 1 week of training, and I might actually be wrong about that. Yes, they do. Yes, Jack, you're right about that DC backup. Yep, he would have cared. Again, I don't want to comment on that because I don't know. I hope, I'm praying and I hope that's not the case, that they're illegals, nice bus drivers. And if that's the case, we're screwed. No, no, you're right. You might be right about that. Who knows? Who knows? The nice bus is cutting corners, and again, we don't know what's going on with the hiring process. So maybe the drivers could be undocumented. It's being shut down. Nice Bus is going to be shut down. The thing is, we cannot stop Nice Bus from operating in Nassau, but we can stop them from coming over the Queens borderline. And that's what my elected officials are planning to do. I'm going to be talking with the 105th precinct where, we're supposed to be meeting. So again, all this stuff is going to be coming up. You have to understand, I have a lot on my plate because we're trying to get the Hollis station rebuilt. We're also trying to get the Long Island bus back before the budget session closes in Albany. Plus, we're trying to get Freedom Ticket advanced. So right now, my top priority is number one is to get Freedom Ticket, obviously, and keep that program. Number two is to make sure we have adequate bus service. Oh, there is some good news, guys. I can tell you, I can actually break this on the broadcast. We're going to be getting Jessica Ramos, State Senator Jessica Ramos, met with me, and she has agreed to type up a letter of support, and she said that she's going to work with me to get overnight service on the Q32 bus uh, to Queens added. So that's some good news. There's going to be. I also got support from Ocasio Cortez for the Q32 and the Q60, and I'll be meeting with Ocasio's people on next week about that. Yeah, I let me tell you, I told my elected officials, I said, whatever you can give us, just get us. I actually had to beg Jessica Ramos to give us that letter because, again, we need Q32 bus service at night. Let me tell you guys something. If I leave New York University at 1 o'clock in the morning and I take the M103 bus, yeah, hold on. I'll get on that for a second, guys. So if I'm taking the M103 bus coming up 3rd Avenue, and then I get on the Q60, and then I take the Q60 to the Q83, I could do the trip in under an hour and 30 minutes overnight. No joke, no bullshit. Hour and 30 minutes. I could do the trip. And it's remarkable, you know. Yeah, but see, the problem with the Q32 bus, it doesn't go to South Jamaica, but we are getting an extension. We're getting added service on the 32 and also the Q60. Now, AOC cares about the Q60, so yeah, it can be much faster. The Q60, are you kidding me? The Q60 at night, it's like an express bus. So you're using your unlimited Metro card. The Q79, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I'll have to. Oh, you're talking about the bus that goes from Little Neck. Yeah, but that bus, again, it depends on what the elected officials want to do. But right now, again, Jessica Ramos, she's committed to the Q32 and the Q60. So that's the good news. She's committed to that. I'm very excited. And AOC, they definitely. Yeah, I don't know about the V line right now. We're trying to work on whatever is easy for the elected officials to implement. So right now, I would say freedom ticket's very important to Penn Station. You know what the problem is, Andy Quito? The problem is with the 7 train overnight and the E and the F. It's just too much craziness going on. People don't want to get on the subway because they don't feel safe. So they would rather take the Q32 bus or the Q60. It's not even about service delays at this point. It's about safety. The trains are not safe. The Yeah, but the subway is not safe, and you have to understand this. Not everyone can afford Atlantic ticket or Freedom ticket. Atlantic ticket is $60, the weekly pass. One of the things that I told my elected officials is that Atlantic ticket should be $45. I also told Matt Camper that the program for the railroad from zone what is it zone all the customers on the Long Island Railroad who are traveling to Atlantic Terminal, it should be in Zone 3. Yeah, so guys, the Atlantic Terminal zone should be in Zone 3 so that all Long Island Railroad customers are paying a cheap fare. I don't think it's right that they're charging people like for Queens Village to Atlantic Terminal. If you don't use Atlantic ticket, you have to pay 226 a monthly. So I don't think it's fair that they're charging people the same price as Penn Station to go to Atlantic Terminal. And you know what? I sympathize with people who ride the railroad because they feel like they're not getting the right service. Yeah, Hunters Point Avenue came up, but here's the problem, Andy. Hunters Point Avenue, you can only accommodate so many people on a train. I actually think Hunters Point is better, but the problem is that platform only can accommodate two trains at any given time. So that's not really an option. So again, the new program, there's a lot of things going on this week. I've been going nuts, running around from one office to another office, plus working, plus doing everything. I haven't had much sleep this week, so I'm tired. But I'm trying to get these things done. I might even be going up to Albany before the session closes to testify, with the state legislature. Yeah, they could. They could add more trains to Hunters Point Avenue. I don't know why they don't have, more rush hour service. I don't know what's going on with that. And again, Elisa Pico's screwing the railroad up. But all I can tell you guys is the good news, the good stuff that is happening, and the commitments that I have. So again, Passengers United is working very hard. Yeah, well, let me make my point about Atlantic Ticket. So Atlantic Ticket, let's say Freedom Ticket is implemented. I told the railroad and I told the elected officials, Atlantic Ticket should not be $60, the weekly pass. It should be $45. Because right now a 7-day unlimited Metro card is $32 or 33 with extra dollar fee. So if you make Atlantic Ticket $45, more people are going to be will try it because it's only a few dollars more than 32. $60 is too expensive to be taken out of the way to Brooklyn. I mean, I like it, but we need to make it realistic. And I think Penn Station, the ticket should be $60, the weekly pass. So again, all these things are being negotiated right now. And I can tell you, one of my elected officials is not going to support congestion pricing until we get the discount to Penn Station. And I'm leaning more towards holding out now until we get the discount program. And also, there's some bad news, other bad news, guys. We might have service cuts in Queens Village. Andy, if you're still there, Ramos, I saw a broken down Q27 today on Springfield Boulevard. It was leaking fuel by McDonald's. Yeah, so I saw a broken down bus on Springfield. Um, you know what? I don't have proof that they're corrupted, DC backup, but again, it's just a lot of funny stuff going on. Pine Power knows, Matt knows what's going on. I shared things on my Twitter page. There was an article I put up on Twitter. There's a lot of stuff going on. And you know what? When I met with my city councilman, Danique Miller, on Monday, me and him, I actually told Danique, why didn't you? He's been in office for 12 years. 12 years. He used to be a bus driver. And I told him, I said, why didn't you sue the MTA? And he turned around and told me, that he couldn't do it. So, I don't know what's going on with the elected officials. If I was in office and I was a congressman and my constituents are not getting good service, I would sue. I would tell all the passengers to flood the MTE with Title V complaints and just sue. That's it. Just sue. File a lawsuit, hit the MTA with civil service complaints, and actually, regarding the Hollis station, I'm thinking about filing a Title V complaint. And I'm going to try to get other passengers to file a Title V complaint. Because, and I don't know if you guys saw this in the video with MTA Prodigy. Did everyone see the video here with MTA Prodigy? You could just say yes or no on the message board. I'll give you a few minutes. Okay, Andy, you saw it, right? Okay, good, good. Okay, so what did y'all notice? What did y'all notice in the video? Is there something that I guess I'll tell you guys what it was. I didn't even notice this. Neither did MT Prodigy notice this until a passenger brought it to our attention. Hollis doesn't have a name sign. Like, you know how Queens Village has a name sign that says Queens Village? Hollis doesn't have any signs. And I found out on Tuesday that that's in violation of the Federal Railroad Administration guidelines. It is DC backup. I don't want to repeat that, but it is. You said it. So Hollis doesn't even have a name sign. That's discrimination. Okay, what we found at the Hollis station, yeah, it's discrimination. And again, I'm sure Philip Eng now will put the signs up because I called Community Affairs and told them to put the signs. So I'm going to check at the Hollis station to see if they put the signs up. But what we found, well, first of all, I'm angry with Elisa Pica because what Elisa Pica did to me on Saturday, I don't know if you guys know. Did you guys notice anything else in the video? Did you notice two individuals in the video? You guys were watching it? Y'all didn't notice anything? Yeah, exactly. Elisa Pica told the police, the MT police, that we were protesting. And, I mean, they came up to me. So I was very professional about it. I actually displayed my work badge. I have a city work badge. So I showed them my city work badge. And the police officers were very nice. Okay. Yeah, so the officer who came, he knew because he only saw three people there. So when he came up to me and said, are you guys protesting? I came very politely to him. I explained to him the communication I had with community affairs. And I have a feeling that it was Elisa Pica because community affairs they actually called the MT police and told them that it was not true, that it was not a protest. No, no, this was Elisa Pica, DC backup. This was Elisa Pica. She's angry because on the flyer, I told people that Elisa Pica needs to resign and there was racism. She didn't like that. She had a fit over the poster. But again, I don't care. I don't care. I don't, you know what? Because again, I'm a very professional person and I'm telling the truth about Elisa Pica. You know what? I was at a when I was at the meeting with Pine Power in Garden City. She told me she made a hand signal, like a gesture, towards me, telling me to like hurry up. When I was trying to talk to Philip Eng, and I didn't appreciate that. Pine Power saw the whole thing in Garden City. He saw the whole thing that went down. And again, I'm a very professional person. In fact, you know what? I'm not even gonna comment on that. You know what? She made her Elisa Pica made herself look stupid in front of the MT police because the officer. Oh no no! I have ways of dealing with Elisa Pica. Believe me, I have ways. I've already spoken to my state senator Leroy Comrie, who chairs the Authorities and Commissions Committee. I have also spoken to a representative on the Transportation Committee in New York State. So they will deal with Elisa Pica at the appropriate time. She will be dealt with. And again, she's going to lose her job, okay? Because everyone's complaining about her. Yeah, you know what? I was told by people who work in the railroad that she's also I don't want to say these things on video because people are watching these videos and, but I'll just tell you the way she treats the passengers, she treats the employees the same way. So again, it's just, but she rubbed me the wrong way. So again, but the police officers, I want to make this very clear, were very professional. They were very courteous, very respectful. In fact, I invited them to Dunkin' Donuts for a cup of coffee because they were so I don't know whether she takes the railroad to work. I don't know what the situation is, but I know Matt wasn't happy about what happened, what transpired, and Matt gave me some advice on how to handle the situation. So I decided, you know what, I might bring it up at the board meeting, at the MTA board meeting. I might bring it up, and again, if I go to the board meeting, I have to deal with another individual. Oh no, no. Do you know something? I expected. I had a feeling that something was going to happen in the meeting. I see. I work with the public. You forget. I work for the city of New York. I deal with police officers on election day. I deal with them 24 hours. I know how to deal with police officers. And it so happens my mom used to work for the police department. You guys don't know that. So when they approached me, I knew. Yeah. So I knew that, he seemed like, he was just doing his job. I mean, I understand the cops were told something and they were just doing their job. I don't hold them against them because they were very professional with me and I was professional with them. And it's how you interact with people. If you treat people with respect and courtesy, they're going to give it back to you. So I explained, what happened. I gave him my badge. I showed him my city badge. And I told him where I work. Yeah. So, at that point, he called the command center and he found out. In 5 minutes, he found out. And he came back to me and apologized. So he felt bad. And after that, it was cool. But you know something? Maybe it was a good thing that we had protection there to protect us. Because if me and, what's his name, MT Prodigy were out there and God forbid something happened to us, because, Hollis is a bad area, at least we were secure, so I'm grateful for that. We had security, we were protected. No, the two officers were very polite. They were very courteous. They were very polite and very professional. So I'm very grateful for the service they provided. And again, I'll see Elisa Pica. Now let's just say if I didn't know what I was doing and I was rude to the cops and I said, why y'all stopping us and this and that, then the whole situation would have turned the other way. But see, me and MT Prodigy, we handled the situation with dignity, and really they didn't really talk to MT Prodigy. They spoke to me, and I was handling the situation really well, so I wasn't worried about it. Yeah. So again, But Matt gave me some advice, and then unfortunately we had the situation on Monday with a certain individual who I'm not going to get into. But this individual said that no, 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 Charlton doesn't go to the board meetings. How can he talk about legislation and getting elected officials to do things if he doesn't go to the meeting? And his exact words were no, no, no. So you all know who that person is. And yeah, and you know what? I was offended by that. And he gave my name. He actually told people where I work. He told people where I work. And what happened was I called my boss because I don't want any problems on the job. So I told my boss what happened. My boss told me not to even worry about him. Um, but he was just, yeah, it is a violation of privacy. And the thing is, see, my thing is, like I said in the video the other day, I did a video on this issue, and when he did that stuff, and he went around saying, he was criticizing MT Prodigy. What has MT Prodigy ever done to anyone? He's helped so many people. Oh, DC Backup. He's an individual that's been harassing people online and stuff. And he's upset with me because I don't go to MT board meetings. Well, you know what? A lot of us work. A lot of us have two jobs. We're tired, okay? I only get like 3 hours of sleep at night. So, again, what was that? A suspension on the I train or the one train? Yeah, yeah, you too, Andy. We all have two jobs. And the thing is, getting to the board meeting that early in the morning, I have to leave my house at like 5:30 to be at that board meeting at 8 o'clock. Because you have to go through security. It's a pain in the neck. And just because I don't go to the MT board meetings, I mean, I'm very grateful that, this individual goes to all the board meetings and he's there. I have nothing against him because of that, but I have a lot of responsibilities in my life. I have to deal with a sick mom. So I'm running around, I'm working very hard, and then I hear my name mentioned on YouTube in a bad way, and I've never ever said anything bad to this individual or to this person. I've always been professional and dignified. And for a person to just criticize me and say, no, 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 he doesn't go to board meetings. It's like, come on now, really? Like, and and then the way Matt was being treated, I didn't appreciate that. Um, so I might have to bump into him at the board meeting, but you know what? I'll be there if I have to be there. But you guys need to be concerned because, we lose this Atlantic ticket program. See, the thing is, with all the side drama going on, yeah, but you know what? Let's not say it makes no sense. Let's not do that because then we're playing into his game. You know what? Just leave that alone. Yeah, I will ignore him. I mean, I mean, if he says good morning to me, I'll say good morning back to him. But if he's rude to me at the board meeting, then I'll just ignore him. And that's unfortunate. And you guys don't realize this, but Elisa Pika is watching our videos. I think she's watching Matt's videos. She's watching Pine Power's videos. We're being watched. And I was told by my elected officials when I came into my city councilman's office, he specifically told me, I'm watching you. They've been watching my videos. Remember a few weeks ago, I was harassed by the vice president at Queens Village? I don't know if y'all remember that. On the on Progressive Actions page. You guys remember that? So yeah, I was harassed by the union's vice president because I was complaining about bus drivers, not showing up, uh, people being stranded at Flushing for over 45 minutes. So again, there's a lot of issues going on that's not being addressed. And I just feel that, we need to do something. Um, we need to all work together, and we cannot let Elisa Pico see us arguing and debating each other. And then when that individual took down the petition, remember the Long Island Railroad petition, guys? Andy, I don't know if you remember that. the change.org petition that she took down. She took down the petition. When was it? I think the other day she took it down. Um, it was taken down. And that was very upsetting when they took the petition down because Matt worked very hard on trying to talk about the railroad and talk about what's going on, with the lack of service. And yeah, it was taken down. And again, I don't know what's going on, but I would assume, Lisa Pico's listening to our videos or whatever. And again, I don't care if she's watching our videos because she hasn't done nothing for the railroad. She hasn't been around. You know, every time we try to talk to her about an issue, um, well, every time I try to talk to her, she's kind of busy. She doesn't want to be bothered. So, I mean, we can only do the best that we can and organize and, bring people to the table. But if people want to be mean and there's going to be side stuff going on, then, that's on them. It's unfortunate. I don't know what to say. Um, so, I mean, if you guys have any comments about anything or y'all can just share it and I'll try to answer them now because I'm going to go off the air in a little bit. I don't like to do these long videos. I don't know how Matt does videos for 2 hours. This thing is long. And I don't have the technology that Matt has where you can just go, in the show you the letters and stuff. But I am working on letters, and I'm gonna be doing a lot more videos on positive things because I don't want to do videos on negative things. I don't like to talk about negative energy because it spreads like a virus. It's negative. And I think maybe that's why some people are attacking us because they're trying to slow us down or whatever. I don't care. I mean, so I'm going to focus on positive things. If you guys have any suggestions on things that I can do better, or anything you'd like to see done, let me know. So, any suggestions, just send me a text on the site, in the chat. Let me know. So, I'm just, all right, so no ideas, nothing. I should have pulled out my phone so y'all could have sent me things on Twitter. But oh, Matt said he was tuning in. Okay, Matt, are you on the air, Matt? Let me know. And I'm sure Matt's going to be very happy with what they're doing with the railroad. I'm sure he's going to be excited when he hears about this. This is really good news. Lisa Pico is really helping us, and Andy just put something about the L trains being delayed about 13 minutes ago. Oh, thank you, Andy, for adding that stuff about the 212 place on Twitter. Thank you about that. Oh, thank you, Andy. Thank you for doing that, Andy Cueto on Twitter. I see that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for putting those tweets out. Um, so again, I'm sure Matt is gonna have more coverage on this. I'm sure he's gonna have something to say about that. This what Philip Eng did is wonderful. But we need Freedom Ticket implemented. We need Atlantic Ticket. Um, and actually, it would be great if all the advocates that's on the different YouTube channels and Twitter channels, if we could even do a teleconference with the state senators up in Albany. To me, that would be great. Oh, you know what I want to talk about? Are you guys still around? Because I'm not getting any tweets from you guys. So just send me a message on the chat so I know you guys are around. Because maybe y'all want to eat dinner or y'all want to go off the air. You guys on the air or all right, so I don't know. So again, I'll just go off the air because I don't see any messages coming up on my end. So I figured people stop watching. All right, so I guess I'll just end the broadcast. And Matt will pick it up with his live coverage. Matt can do a coverage. I'm sure he'll mention all this later on. All right, guys, so I'm going to end the broadcast because no one's watching right now. I see three people on the screen, but I don't know if you guys are here or just send me a message or something. If you guys want me to continue on the air or. Okay, guys, so I guess I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I try to cover a lot of things today, but thank you for tuning in. And I'll try to do shorter videos. I don't like doing these long videos because it's all over the place. Um, so I'll try to do shorter videos.